Okay, so like there's two aspects to poker. There's getting better at just playing the odds and or playing the hands and like memorizing the rules of the game.
Okay.
And then there's the playing against the people at the table.
Yeah. There's also a position. That's one aspect that a lot of people don't know about.
What is that?
Well, if you speak after someone, you have advantage to like know how they're reacting.
Speak.
So let's say you have like the dealer button, the small blind, and the big blind. The first one to talk when the round of betting begins is the person after the big blind, right?
Okay.
So everybody that comes after gets to see what they're doing.
Okay.
Are they calling? Are they betting? And when you do an action, it means that you have a hand. If you're calling,
Turns are called like speaking is refers to turns in.
well, I'm just I use a random word there, but like
Okay.
when it's your turn, basically. So like the first person after the big blind will speak, and they'll say like, "I'll fold." Okay, they don't have a hand. I'll call. Maybe they have a hand, or maybe they don't want to expose the strength of their hand because there's a million people talking after them. You know. So if you're the first to talk and there's a lot of people after you, your hand will have less potential power or strength or threat because everybody can be like, oh, well, you raised. That means you have a good hand and I don't believe in my hand. I'm out. Or you raised, but my hand is really good, so I can probably fight your hand and I will be in and stay and call. Or I will raise because my hand is really good and I think it's better than yours and I want to establish strength. So the position on the table is important because if you're the last person to talk, you can see what happened before you. If you're the first person to talk, you might be playing into a bad situation where somebody has a better hand than you after.
But if you're the first person to talk and then you decide to not do what you wanted to do, to not reveal too much, you also don't get to play again until it goes all the way around.
All the way around, yeah. But then if somebody raises, then you can re-raise or you can call, you know. There's you can it changes your position changes everything.
Okay.
Like imagine at the end when the final card comes on the river and you're on the dealer button, so you'll be the last person to talk, and everybody raise, all in, and you're like, you have a crappy hand. Oh shit, that means that like I should probably fold if I don't have a really good hand.
Okay.
But if everybody checks, you can tell yourself, oh, maybe nobody has anything, so I can steal the hand. Because you saw that everybody checked and did not bet at the last.
But if you didn't do the right thing early, you can get fucked over by what follows. If you're playing too cautiously.
There's always that risk, but talking after someone is always a positional advantage.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't think about that aspect too.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's one thing that like that's the main thing that people don't know about poker.
Well, there you go. Fucking back alley card shark Reggie.
Yeah, well, like I played like in the early odds, and like I played with friends, and I did some free rolls.
Interesting.
It's mathematics.
Okay. Well, anyway, I guess I mean I know it's not playing real online poker in any capacity, but as it stands, I currently play 0 things resembling poker.
Yeah.
And by playing this, I'm playing one thing that vaguely resembles poker.
And that's a good...
Therefore, I'm assuming that there's some benefit to that.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be, including, is this a flush or is this not? Or is this a full house? Or... Because I'm also just like I'm like, right, know what the hands are, know it, like literally the what does this button do?
What is that hand? Okay, yeah.
You know? So
it's like it's kind of the same thing for like mahjong in a way, where you need to know which hands you're going for when you're discarding a tile or going for a tile, because there are set hands that you're looking for.
So yeah, I mean I'm learning the move list.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You're learning the move list right
so now. We can get to matchups eventually. And we can get to player conditioning eventually.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as it goes, like for just this phase of that, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I always wanted to get a little bit better at like knowing what that is. You know, what I find tricky that I always wanted to get better at is when you have a hand that has like there's 2 winning. Let's say you have a chances of getting a
straight or a flush.
A straight or a flush, exactly, right? And you're like, which should I go for? Like those moments are the ones where I'm like, I don't know if there's a mathematical statistical probability thing you're supposed to do, or if you're supposed to go based on what the previous, cards that showed up looked like and stuff like that.
So, usually the highest value hands are the one that are the hardest to get. So in this case, like a flush versus a straight, you have more cards that will allow you to do a straight than cards that will allow you to do a flush. Assuming a 52 card deck, right? Because you have 13 cards of each suit.
Yes.
So let's say you have like 4 cards and you're missing 1 for that flush. Then you have 9 chances of getting that, right? Because you have 9 other cards in the deck that will complete that flush.
Yes.
But if it's a straight, then you have, depending on like if it's an inside straight or like on the edges,
sequential, which is harder
it has to be sequential, but it's like you can get from every suit.
Yeah.
So you have more chances of getting a straight than a flush.
Oh wait.
Because let's say you have like 4, 5, 6, 7, and you need a straight. You'll need 3 or 8, and you have 4 suits, so you have 8 cards.
So the odds of getting like let's say a 10 that you're missing is better than the odds of getting a club that you're missing.
Yeah. Yeah, like let's say yeah, pretty much, yeah. And like a royal flush, that's only like ace, king, queen, jack, 10. And a straight flush is like 5 cards that follow each other with the same suit.
In my head, the deck is divided into 4 suits.
Yeah.
And if you have one suit that you need, I figured it would be easier to get one of the many clubs that are not currently in my hand versus one of the 4 that I need to complete this straight. It feels like getting a straight is a way harder thing to do, but I'm just guessing based on the impression.
Because the straight can be any suits, but a flush is one suit in particular.
So there are 4 10s that I can get to complete my straight here.
Yeah,
but I need a club. There are 13 clubs I can, rather 13 minus the 4 that I currently have. So there are 9 clubs in the deck that I can get. Yeah. So one is 4 and the other is 9. And then barring other people on the table and what's showing, why would it be higher? Why would there be higher odds of me getting the 10 than getting the club?
If you're looking for just one card to your straight, then you'll have less odds. But if you have an open-ended straight where you can
where you can go either side. Okay.
Yeah.
I was sorry. I was thinking about a 10 as in the middle.
Right, in the middle. So in the middle, 8, because 9, it's 4,
blank,
that
jack,
would be rough.
Queen.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying if you have a straight in terms of 4 cards in a row and you have to get something before or after, now you have 8 chances. Yeah. And those 8 chances are better than your odds of getting a suit that you need.
Yeah, and also, like, assuming we're playing, like, Texas Hold'em, right? And you have common cards.
Yeah.
That other person is probably looking to get the best hand as well.
Yes.
So if there are multiple, like, suits on the table, maybe they're looking for a flush as well.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, lowers your chances of getting a flush. Because I have clubs, I'm taking away from your chances as well, you know?
Well, it does, but just because you're looking for it, it just means that you're holding on to the chance to get that, but it doesn't actually mean that you're gonna get it. It just means if you do get something, it might be stronger than my hand.
Yeah, so that's when you go for the rank of the card at that point.
But your decision and to search for the same thing I'm searching for doesn't actually affect my likelihood of getting it.
No, but it's like we're playing like meta game at this point, because
if you're searching
what's on the board,
you're
looking for the best thing, and the best thing might be like, you're looking for a flush.
This is really interesting,
because
it's like if I decide I'm looking for my low straight, and you decide you're looking for your flush, we're still getting what we're getting.
We're getting what we're getting,
and it's gonna be my power versus yours. But like if we're looking for the same thing, your decision to look for the same thing doesn't affect me. And then I guess the last thing on this tangent, because you clearly know what the fuck you're talking about.
A little bit, not enough to make a living out of it for sure. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. You know, it's the reason why I'm sitting here.
there are 4 on the end, 4 high, 4 low, right? Assuming you have a what would the term for the middle straight be? Like an incomplete straight?
Let's say like a gut shot straight draw.
A straight draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
so
open-ended straight draw is on both sides, and
Okay.
inside would be a gut shot.
there's still 13 of each suit, right?
Yeah.
And you have a flush almost ready. So I don't know what the term for that would be. An almost flush.
Flush draw.
A flush draw. So
Yeah.
you've got 4 out of...
You're drawing for a flush. You're drawing
Right.
for a straight.
Okay, so you've got 4 of the same suit ready to go. 4 minus 13 equals 9.
Yeah.
Therefore, 9 cards is higher than 8 cards. Therefore, I still feel like that should be more likely to occur. So I think it's easier to get a flush than it is to get a straight. Maybe. That's my instinct would be to do that. And or like, isn't it like in order of likelihood, like 1 pair, 2 pair, full house,
yeah,
flush,
card high,
straight,
1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 of a kind, and then after you go to straight flush,
then
4 of a kind, straight flush, and then the best straight flush is a royal
flush. Wait, did we include full house in that?
Full house is after the flush.
Full house is after a flush. Okay.
3 of a kind and a pair.
Yeah. A standard deck with a 5-card poker hand. There's 10,200 ways to make a straight for a probability of 0.003 and 5,108 ways to make a flush for a probability of 0.001. Thus, you can see why flushes are ranked higher than straights. There are 10,000 ways to make a straight and 5,000 ways to make a flush.
Yeah, it's just the way that the cards are.
It's just the numbers.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I can't math, so I don't know why that works, but I guess so.
I'm sure you can like look it up and find a million people explaining it.
There's you know, a given suit is a quarter of the deck, and a given number is 13th of the deck. Does that turn out to 26? Does that turn out to... No.
Sorry, I stopped listening.
Yeah, sorry. I went into fractions because it's like 1 suit out of 13. Or, sorry, 1 suit out of 4.
Yeah.
Versus 1 number out of 13 numbers. Right? And then it's actually 2 numbers out of 13 numbers. So now we're getting into the fractions. And I'm like, of these 2 fractions... Right, which of these ends up being et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But yeah, you peek through the door.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. I see. You're starting at the end of a hand. You need to consider from the beginning. Oh. Okay. I see. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay,
actually.
if you're starting from 0, then yes,
it's harder to make
odds...
a flush than to make a straight.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. But I still go, but you don't control what's in front of you. Therefore, once it shows up and you have it...
Yeah, you're narrowing down the possibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you are in a situation where you can go for one or the other, and the likelihood is 1 card away, you're 1 card away from a straight, or you're 1 card away from a flush, right? You've already gotten there. At that point, it then, to me, would make more sense to go for, unless you're feeling ballsy, to go for the flush, because you're 1 suit versus 1 number away from winning. You've already gotten there. The hard work's done. They handed you the odds, and you picked them up.
Yeah.
So you got past that initial calculation of how difficult it is to get to this point. Now you just got to it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
And you just got to get one of these 2 to win. It's not a coin flip. There's actually a whole bunch of other cards you keep picking up. But between this 1 card pull, because the odds change with each, from 0, we have those numbers we saw. And then with each card that draws, it changes a bit more. And it changes a bit more. When it comes to the final card, it is got to be harder to get a straight, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. All right, let's not go too crazy over
here. That's fine.
But I find that I do find that interesting.
So Balatro is a 52 card deck plus a million other cards, from what I seem to understand.
And you can cheat.
So these odds are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can cheat, and you can use like spells and shit. But the trade-off, well, one, everything you do is, it's roguelike, so it changes every time. But you also have like, you have to make small blind, and then a big blind, and then up the ante for a boss fight. And the boss cheats.
Oh, okay.
So the boss fight will be like, your clubs don't count.
Oh,
so
damn.
Now you can't do shit.
That's rough.
You still get the hand, but you don't get the reward that you should get.
Okay.
By multiplying each of these cards, you know. So yeah, it's pretty fun, and it's a nice way to just kind of like, again, passively like poker through some things, you know. Cappuccino Guil, hearing Reggie getting into poker tech makes me want to teach him how to play traditional Brazilian card game, truco. Fun, simple, built for lying and smug jerk, and totally not gambling. I've never heard of that game, but back in high school with my Italian friends, I learned how to play Scopa.
Oh, shit. I remember that game.
Scopa
with
rules.
The cups and the swords.
Yep.
And yeah.
The cups, the swords, the bitch. yeah. It's super. It's a whole lot of fun. Scopa is great. And then the other main one is Briscola 5000.
Okay.
And like it's Italian cards, and they have it's another game you play. Briscola, I believe, was like what old men play that more often, but Scopa was way more fun in my opinion. Yeah, Scopa is the shit. Escoba, we call it in Spain. Oh, yo, really? Do you guys use Italian decks as well when you play that? Because like it's with the swords, the cups, the different.
I remember that.
The different things. It's also in Argentina. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That game's a lot of fun. Been so long since I played, but like back in the day, my favorite card game of all time was Kent. Have you ever heard of Kent or played it? 2v2. Okay. Kent is so much fun. It's wildly awesome. You sit across from a partner, and then your opponents sit across from each other at a 4-person table. And the goal is to get 4 of a kind, and then your partner has to know when you get 4 of a kind and call it out.
Okay.
Right? Or if the opponent gets 4 of a kind, you have to cut before the opponent has a chance to signal to their partner that they have it. Right? The rules your signals can be anything. You both have to go off and arrange a meta so that you have signals for each other. But your signals have to also be not so obvious that they can allow the opponent to cut it. Furthermore, even if you're not paying attention to signals and reading those movements, you can just look at the draw of what people are going for on the board and on the table, and kind of be like, I know you have 4 of a kind. So let's say you pick up 4 of a kind, and your opponent and your partner hasn't noticed yet, but I did. I can immediately just call cut, and I win the point before you even have a chance to signal, because it's like, did you have 4? Then you lose.
And if you mess up, you lose.
If you mess up, you lose. Exactly. Okay. So I have the 4 of a kind. I do a signal to you. You call Kent. We get the point.
Okay.
Or you call cut, and you stop your opponent from getting the point. If you're fucking sick, you get 4 of a kind. You signal to me. I get 4 of a kind. Double Kent.
Oh. That's gangster.
Double points. Body the team.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's so sick. When you get to the level where you're like, yeah, we already won. We're going for double Kent right now.
Yeah.
They're sleeping, and you have 1 card left to pick up, and I already got my 4. right? But because the way you put cards down on the table, if you put cards down on the table for the pickup phase, and I'm holding my 4, and I don't pick up anything, that's pretty suspicious, isn't it? So you can't be fucking around with the double can't set
Or you're
up.
holding 4 cards max as well.
How many cards do you hold? I'd have to look it up again.
Okay, but you can still make like a fake out.
You can, yeah, you can, but like you have to be good about faking it out, right? Because there is every turn is you turn on a number of cards face up, and there's a 3, 2, 1 go.
Okay,
And then simultaneously you drop a card, you pick a card.
Okay.
Right? So there's a bop bop,
Yeah.
bop bop, bop bop. So the speed is involved, you know?
Okay.
And you're looking at what you're looking for, but if I know you're looking for that like fucking queen, and I see the queen, and I'm not looking for a queen, I can just fuck you over.
Right.
You know?
That's good.
And you can be like, oh, son of a bitch, right? And then you can be like, oh fuck, okay, he stopped me from getting my queen. If I'm being really level 1 about it, I'll be like, ha, I got your queen. Now what are you gonna do? And you'll be like, ah, right?
Yeah.
You got me. And now you have, and then it's like, oh fuck, whatever, that's fucked up. You have to wait for the next play. If I'm being level 2 about it, I'll grab the queen and not even acknowledge that it was the thing that you needed, because you hold 3 queens right now.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, I'll put the queen down as bait to allow you to pick it up, while you not knowing I did that first play as a counter. So then you go to pick up that queen at on the second situation where you like, oh nice, he did put it down. And the moment you're holding it, cut. Moment you hold it, cut. What?
Good.
Show me 4 queens. You lost. You know what I mean?
I feel like my feelings would get too riled up. I don't like how this sounds.
It's that 510 shit.
Yo,
It's that 510 shit. It's so good. Yeah. Dash 0. Exactly. I put the queen down. Pick it up, bitch. Pick it up. Oh, are you gonna put down 3 queens then? And then literally 3 queens go down and 3 random cards get picked up, and now there's 4 queens on the table, and we all look at each other like, yeah, what?
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Oh, you think you're fast?
That's not cool.
It's such a fun game.
I'd get mad.
Those moments are amazing, right? Yeah. And I'm not even getting into the insanity of like the signal system, right? Because
I'd have like true signals, false signals.
Basic bitch. Of course. Level 0 is Kent, level 0. We're past that. All right. You get to your level 1 of, you've got your fake signals, whatever. Let's get to the final phase. We're literally just having a normal conversation. The game is going on. Nothing has changed. Kent, by the way. Like, it's why? Because the flow of the conversation has included a series of not just, what are you going for, my partner, but how close are you? Are you currently holding? Yes. Should I call? No. Wait, I'm close too?
Right.
Okay, we're both at 3. All right, I have 4. Do you have 4? Where are they at? Don't forget to pay attention to them.
Of course.
Fuck it, that took too long. I'm calling it right now. Kent. Right? A series of questions.
There's a discussion going on.
An invisible discussion via the signs you come up with. It's incredible. And I think the only rule is it can't be like under the table kicks or shit like that.
Okay, no footsies.
No. It has to be either above table or like audio. You can make a noise.
You can make a noise. It can be like a visual signal of some kind.
It cannot be
an
invisible under the table
Yeah.
signal. That's the only rule. Yeah. It's the best card game. It's so much fun. Got to do that next time. Okay. All right. Anyway, there's your giant card game fucking tangent for the day. I'm surprised you never got a chance to play that. That was high school and elementary even were all about that. My cousin got me in, and we came up with an undefeatable signal.
I see. Maybe you should keep that forever.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I literally will. And I like what I like. You cannot beat it. I mean, you can, but the time it takes you to decode it, you're not playing the game to win at that point.
I see. It's too far off.
Yeah. So